Hello everybody, this is PitchGodBlack here, back from an internet problems hiatus, I guess you would call it. Today I'm going to be reviewing the latest episode of Doctor Who, The Doctor Falls, in attempts to defend it, because I can see this being quite a controversial episode with critics and reviewers and what. Here I'm hopefully going to try and defend the reviews and stuff, or try and defend the Doctor Falls to an extent. So after this episode aired, I very nearly uploaded a rather pissy reaction review, but decided not to in the end, as the more you think about it, the better it gets in my opinion. Old Enough in Time was a great episode that led into the finale of the series The Doctor Falls. With this episode, it's safe to say it quite wasn't what I was expecting, which is only reasonable considering how the Next Time trailer was so misleading at the end of the previous episode in the grand scheme of things. This is not a series finale in the traditional sense, I would say, and it's more of a character piece in my opinion. John Simm-Master and Missy, to me, overall acts as lighter fluid for the flames of the characterisation of the 12th Doctor in this episode, which is made very evident by the conversation scene between the three, which in turn shows this incarnation's angry side, and alludes to the fact that there is no hope for the Doctor, both for the events of this episode and his attempts to prevent his regeneration. I would also say that the same applies to the Cybermen, the Doctor, Bill and Nardau. The amount of incarnations of the Cybermen weren't necessarily needed either, but I do feel like that it really did push these characters to the limits, resulting in quite a moving and emotional finale for Nardau. Bill coming back wasn't really what I wasn't hoping for, but at the same time it is what I should have expected, as this is Moffat after all. But I do feel at the same time it was warranted if you put her in the grand scheme of this episode being a character piece. Here we get to see her personality on fine form, with her rebelling a lot and having awesome moments between her and the 12th Doctor, such as the barn scene. The cameo at the end of the episode wasn't necessarily needed in my personal opinion, but it does further cement that the fact that the John Simm-Master and Missy were both in the same location because of the possibility that their TARDISes met on the same timeline. I would also say that this cameo further alludes to the 12th Doctor's upcoming regeneration, as it is basically saying that no matter how hard they have tried, all incarnations of the Doctor eventually fall into the lure of regeneration, which in turn further characterises the 12th Doctor in my personal opinion. Overall, I would say that this episode is a bit of a rush grower. I can perfectly understand how at first people may not like the episode, which happened to me as I hated it initially, but after thinking about it, I would actually say it's pretty good. Okay, it's not an amazing episode by any means, and I do think this story should have been a 3-parter, as I do feel that this episode feels pretty rushed, and I do think it has a lot of ideas to it that I feel could have been done with another episode. As with just one 45-minute episode and one 1-hour episode, not all of them had enough blossoming time for this 100-minute length of the 2-parter. I personally feel like this 2-parter overall would have served much better with the Doctor Falls being split into 2 45-minute episodes, and like the reaction reviewer or commentator, as I prefer to call them, channel My Name Is Simon did say, the whole John Simm-Master killing the Missy Master is a big paradox and is one of the problems with this episode. However, I do feel that this episode is good overall. but it does have a lot of problems. But at the same time, I will say it's probably the best Steven Moffat finale we've had in ages. Dark Water and Death in Heaven. Dark Water gets a 9 in my opinion. Death in Heaven gets, oh god, a 3 I think, so that means that's an 11 out of 20. Then Heaven Sent, Hell Bent only gets a 9 out of 20, as Heaven Sent gets a 9 in my opinion, Hell Bent gets a 0. With this two-parter, World Enough and Time gets an 8, and this overall, I feel, and this episode overall that I've been talking about today, I feel deserves a 6 out of 10, equating to this two-parter having an overall rating of 14 out of 20. In other words, just about a 7 out of 10, I would say. And I do think, as an overall rating for the two-parter, I would place it at a 6.5. As I said, it's the best Steven Moffat finale we've had in ages, since the Pandorica opens in the Big Bang, I would say. I personally quite like that two-parter. Yeah, as I was saying, this is the best Steven Moffat finale we've had in quite a while. As I said, it's nothing amazing overall, with the overall two-parter only scoring a 6.5 out of 10. However, I will be returning to this two-parter when the DVD comes out, as I do think it is a very good two-parter story. It's just nothing absolutely spectacular overall, but I do like it in quite a lot of ways. It's just not an amazing two-parter overall.